Hey you guys, it's Peter, and I'm back. Of course I'm back. I'm not going anywhere. Beast. 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 I'm YouTube famous now. Available in 2020. The album, Dad AF. The karaoke edition. Just a small town girl. That was so out of tune. Okay, hold on. Just a small town. That was even worse. Just a small town girl. Living in a lonely world. She took the midnight train going anywhere. Oh God, I'm so tone deaf always. Anyway, my Dad AF does not stand for what you think it does. It stands for tone deaf always. Anyway, how are you guys doing today? It is Friday. Thank God it's Friday. And I am, if you can't tell, in a fantastic mood today. So I thought we would talk about Jaclyn Hill. Jaclyn Hill, Jeffree Star, Manny MUA. Nikki Tutorials. Who's the next one? Oh, James Charles. Hi, sisters. Bye, sisters. Laura Lee. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Patrick Star in the house. Raw Beauty Christie. Raw Beauty Christie is almost at 1 million subscribers. Did you see that? I predicted it would happen last year, but I'm changing my prediction to this year. I think it's probably a safe prediction, don't you think? Anyway, let's talk about Jaclyn Hill. Now, I have to tell you, last night, okay, earlier in the evening, Jaclyn came out. It was sometime yesterday. She came out. It was before she went to this hockey game where she was eating pizza and having the time of her life, living her best life. I was talking to one of my friends the other day, and I said something about, we were talking about, I don't know what it was. Anyway, she said, just over here, living my worst life. I thought it was so honest. I thought it was so hilarious. But anyway, so she put out this thing, and she was saying that she wanted to talk about what her release of her new collaboration was going to be, but she didn't feel like it was time, which she'd already said in her video. She didn't feel like it was time. Can I show you this hat? Look at how cute. Hi. But she didn't feel like it was time, right? It's never time. There's no right time, okay? Just release it. People don't care that deep. So anyway, they don't care that deep? They don't care that much. Anyway, so she was going to release it a little bit at a time, right? And she said, and it was interesting the way that she said it. I don't know if anybody else caught this, and I have it recorded, but I'm not going to throw it up in this video, but because it was just real short. She said, you know, that like they were trying to hold it back, and they couldn't hold it back, so she was going to release a little bit of it at a time, and then she was going to do her launch video, and she said like she was going to release something on Friday, and I'm like, well, gal, that's tomorrow. And she sounded in her video or her little Instagram clip like that was like a week from now, right? So I'm like, okay, this will be interesting to see what she puts out tomorrow. Like, what's she gonna put? Like one pan of an eyeshadow palette, or, you know, like a real fuzzy picture of... I wasn't gonna say a lipstick. I was gonna say a fuzzy, opaque picture, okay, of like a brush or something. I hope to God she doesn't come out with some of these Morphe brushes. I mean, Morphe is killing with coming out with brushes and more brushes and more brushes and more brushes, okay? So it wasn't, I had not recorded that video, and let me just tell you, I mean, I recorded it, but as soon as I had recorded it, I was going through, and people had exposed the fact that apparently, I almost said Laura Lee, apparently Jaclyn Hill's new collaboration got leaked, and it's with Morphe, so we're going to talk about that. Ding-a-ling-a-ling, shabalang dang, ding, ding dong, ding. Y'all loved the blender, didn't you? How's the drama phone? This is Peter speaking. Oh, hi, Jane. How are you? Well, happy Friday to you, Jane. Yeah. Oh, girl, my weekend starts on Wednesdays. You couldn't make it to the Women's League this week. We took a little field trip. We went to the strip club. It was so fun. A thunder down under, my lord. I'm moving to Australia, Jane. Those men have thighs. Oh, my lord. Anyway, so what's going on, Jane? You're watching the YouTubes about Jaclyn Hill. You're seeing all these videos pop up about Jaclyn Hill's new palette. Is it exciting? Oh, well, anyway. Okay, well, what else? You're watching Peter Monn's review channel. He did a tour of his junk drawer. Oh, I'm sure they'll steal that idea too. Oh, okay. Well, all right, Jade, I'll see you at the Women's League on Tuesday. Bye-bye. So anyway, go over and check out my review channel today. I did a real exciting video. I did a tour of my my drunk. I keep on saying that. I did a tour of my junk drawer. Not my junk, okay? No, nobody want to see all that. I did a tour of my junk drawer. So anyway, let's talk about this. Now, I saw all this come up. I saw a lot of people posting about it. So I went over to the Just a Small Town Girl. I still can't get it right. Okay. I need a voice coach. So I went over to the Beauty Guru Reddit, where of course it was posted over there. Leaked Jaclyn Hill and Morphe palette, question mark. So there was this tweet that was put out. They have it all crossed out. I don't know who it was from, so I can't read you the comments or whatever, but here, I will throw it up right here. And it's at Jaclyn her. This one hair, if you watch my vlog, I have named her, and her name is Darlene Jolene Joe. So, Darlene Jolene Joe, you just get back in your room. Okay. It's been a long day. So anyway, this person tweeted to Jaclyn Hill, at Jaclyn Hill. Not sure if this palette is from your past collab with Morphe, or did I just get ripped off? So basically, apparently what happened, okay, is that this person ordered something, and in the mail instead got different than what they ordered. And they got this new palette, which you can see in the picture. Okay, so let's go underneath here and see what the comments are. So somebody said, Morphe's biggest struggle is rearranging the same 24 plus eyeshadows into different configurations every month. I'm kind of wondering if this is Jaclyn Hill's new release with Morphe, if James Charles will come out and say that she ripped off his palette. I'm just saying, okay, it looks very similar to me, to every other palette that I've ever seen Morphe release. I mean, you know, people always want to talk about Anastasia Beverly Hills and how ABH releases all these palettes one every 3 days. But the reality is this, okay? I mean, at least the ABH palettes are the same 10 shades of pink, blue, and green, just kind of mixed, okay? I mean, you might get a mostly pink, and then the next one is pink and blues, and then blue and greens, but then we're back to the pinks again, okay? At least they kind of mix it up a little bit. The Morphe palette is it's always you just have extras of everything, and so you just throw it in and call it a new palette. I mean, it really does look very, very similar to me every time I see one of these palettes. So, then somebody said maybe that's why they take 3 years to be released. Gotta find that new combo. People don't give Morphe enough credit. They have mathematicians working around the clock to figure out how many different combinations of the same allegedly. I'm just reading this off of the Beauty Guru Reddit. The same privately labeled eyeshadows can fit into a 24 plus shadow pan, paying special attention to craft color combinations that trick the eye into thinking there's variety when there's actually just a gradient of 4 different colors and a turquoise that somehow got lost. And somebody said, I appreciate this level of sarcasm. Somebody said, seriously, you can get any of those shadows on the 30 other palettes Morphe has. I think we have reached the pinnacle of palette releases. There's nothing that can be done to revolutionize them. And somebody said, yep, if it isn't a palette consisting of 90, okay, so this is a really long comment and it goes in. Let's see what other people would say down here. Let's find a new thread. Makes sense that this is what she's been working on since 2018 because that's when this color scheme was a trend. Somebody else said, you know, it was really interesting to me, okay? So I went over and I wanted to see if Jaclyn Hill had commented on this, anything about this, because if it were me and that wasn't my palette, I would come out and say that's not my palette, okay? If it was me and my palette had been exposed or leaked, what I would say is it's really unfortunate that somebody leaked this palette. But I have a theory, hypothetically, so that it's all just a big controversy. I do. It's a conspiracy of the world. But, you know, I can't believe that she hasn't come out and said something. Either she's really upset, okay, and she's in a, you know, a dark place because this has been leaked, and you would think that she would come out and say, this is BS, okay, it got leaked. Or she would come out and say, this isn't my palette, this isn't what I'm getting ready to release, Morphe made a mistake, I don't know whose palette this is, okay? It's also interesting to me that Morphe isn't coming out and saying something, but of course, Morphe never comes out and says anything. You know, when all the lipstick stuff was going on, they didn't come out and defend Jaclyn, even though Jaclyn had been, you know, shilling Morphe forever. She's like one of their top sellers, and they never came out and defended her or said anything positively or negatively or whatever. A lot of people have a lot of speculations about this relationship between Jaclyn Hill and Morphe. You know, in the past, people speculated that was she a part owner, was Jeffree Star a part owner, and all this kind of stuff, you know? And it's interesting now that you have people that have their own makeup brands who are also doing stuff with Morphe, like, you know, Jeffree Star's stuff is sold through Morphe and on and on and on. But there was some speculation that at the time that Jaclyn Hill's company started, that maybe, you know, like Morphe, Linda from Morphe wasn't okay with that, and that, you know, they had worked so close together, and maybe she was the one that had warned Jaclyn, you know, about like the different things at the lab that she was using and things like that. So it's interesting you know, when you see this relationship over time develop, and then people are wondering, well, why are you still doing this collaboration with somebody else, you know, if you have your own cosmetic brand? Well, the same question could be asked, you know, of like Jeffree Star. So, but, you know, I think that was addressed when Jeffree Star came out. People were like, well, why is he doing it with Morphe when he's, you know, could be doing it with his own brand? So maybe they have contracts, you know, who knows? That if you're going to sell your stuff in our store, you have to at least do one release with us, or who knows? Those are business contracts. Nobody has any idea how that's, you know, written. So let's go on and see what everybody else has to say. Let's not forget about her leaked emails with Makeup Geek when it took her weeks to send a picture of her signature. Okay, we're not going to get into all of that. Let's see. People are suspecting that this is the new Jaclyn Hill Morphe collab because it has the same color story as the PR box. So that's what people are saying. Reposted to... and then somebody says, it says volume 2 on the box, so it must be. Crazy. Somebody said, thank you. The colors look exactly like the Vault, like even some of the arrangements. Is it just a better formula of the Vault collection put into one palette? That would be interesting, actually, if that was, you know, that if they had taken, like, the best of the Vault. But then what would be the point of having ever come out with the Vault? I actually kind of thought back in the day, and I know, like, people didn't like this, but I thought the Vault was kind of a cute idea. I really did, you know, like, as a collector's kind of thing. Okay, I had to stop the camera because my husband was calling. Somebody else said, agreed, I think it's legit. The girl lives in Cali near a Morphe warehouse and thought she bought it from OfferUp. I wouldn't doubt a warehouse employee swiped one of those that was supposed to get discarded and sold it instead. The shade names match the Ulta description as others mentioned. Jaclyn Hill packaging has been changed, which I believe this matches. Also, I may be a conspiracy theorist, but I just find it so ironic that Jaclyn says she was supposed to show it already, but because of the feedback was hesitant and was going to wait until next Sunday, but going to give hints the next few days. Next day, the whole thing gets leaked. Okay, so I feel that it is bizarre as well, okay? I feel like this whole thing of Jaclyn coming out with this video, and I was thinking about this, you know, like, when I was watching her, like, Instagram story, I was like, I can understand why she's hesitant to want to come out because of the lipsticks and blah, 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 whatever. Whoa, wait a second. She released a product already after that with Jaclyn Cosmetics, and it went off without a hitch. Like, nobody really had any issues with it, and it was fine. So... why is she so worried about releasing this product? What is it about it? Or is she worried that people are going to say, this is the same palette that you did before? People are going to criticize this Morphe palette, right? When maybe this is something that she didn't really have any control over, or they said that we're going to do this or whatever, and she doesn't really want to release it. So she's got to, you know, get some scandal around it, or who knows, or maybe somebody's leading her in the right way. I don't know. It's just very interesting to me that she comes out in this video and she says she doesn't want to release this product. It's not the right time, yada, yada, yada. And then she comes out and says that she's going to start releasing things a little bit at a time. Is this how she was releasing things a little bit at a time? Like, did they purposely send this to somebody? I mean, I'm not saying that I don't believe this girl. I don't know this girl. Listen, I don't know her, okay? We don't go to the Chinese buffet together. We don't shop at the Marshalls. I don't buy her makeup for her. I don't know her. I'm sure she's a very, very nice gal, okay? But, I mean, it's speculative to me that one palette, one wrong palette, okay? How in fact, like, this kind of stuff just baffles my mind, okay? When we talk about, like, shipping issues and warehouse issues and all this kind of stuff, okay? I have been in warehouses and shipping places before, okay? They are run like a very, well-run, well-oiled machine. So it's always interesting to me when there's these huge issues that, like, one palette gets sent to one person. No. This is what's going to happen, okay? Either we're going to start seeing, like, tons of people start getting this palette, like, in the next couple of days. People will start popping up all over the internet, getting the wrong palette, and then it will be a huge leak, right? That, like, Morphe started sending out her palettes by accident, okay? That would make sense. That, like, let's say, like, an entire shipping box got added in here in the wrong way and they shipped them out. It's still speculative to me, but let's just say if that happened. That would make more sense than one palette getting sent to one person. That's deliberate, okay? That, like, I don't understand all that, allegedly. I mean, it seems deliberate, doesn't it? I mean, how do you, from one factory warehouse, have one makeup palette get sent to one person who then comes out and gets all this attention on the internet? One person, okay? Like, that's really, really interesting to me. And as somebody that reads a lot of true crime and listens to all the conspiracy theories and all this kind of stuff, we need to get Shane Dawson on this, find out about this one palette. I'm just saying, okay? It's speculative to me. So it's really, really interesting to me, especially since this one palette is getting so much attention. I mean, like, isn't that crazy? Like, this one palette that Jaclyn Hill released with Morphe, that one person got, okay, is getting all this attention. Like, I don't know. It's just interesting to me. It just is really, really interesting to me. What do you guys think about that? Let's see if anybody else has anything down here below. Somebody said they can just see, I can just see Jaclyn Hill now. That is not my palette. There are no pinks in my palette. And somebody said, this is basically the sunset eye trend from a few years ago. We're tired, LOL. Somebody said, so here's a question. What haven't we seen before? I see a lot of palettes out there and a lot of comments saying we've seen this. Is there anything we haven't gotten in an eyeshadow palette before? Or have we exhausted our ideas? That's a question I always ask. Like, what do you guys want to see? Like, if I was a beauty influencer, I wouldn't tell you what new I have that's, oh my God, it's the most exciting idea I've ever... I would be asking you guys, I would be asking my audience, what do you guys want to see? I want to make products that you guys can get excited about. What are you guys excited about? What do you want to see? What are trends that you would like to see me do, right? But because it always has to be an original idea, and because it always has to be like they thought it up and all this kind of stuff, they can never do that. They can never ask their audience really what they want, you know? Like, I mean, you wouldn't come out with a line of merch with a bunch of sayings or pictures on it if you didn't know, like, what your audience wanted. So why, as a beauty influencer, are you coming out, what you're doing is you're coming out with products and you're telling your audience they need it. You're not asking them what they want. And so, you know, that works for some, for Jeffree Star, it works great. For Jaclyn Hill, it doesn't. So, you know, if I were Jaclyn, I'd be getting in a video and saying, I want to know what you guys want. Like, I'm really excited about Jaclyn Cosmetics going forward. What do you want? And don't be saying no hairs in your lipstick, okay? We're moving on from all of that. Okay, let's get a couple more of these and let's see. Somebody said, okay, so then they go in here and they talk about like the Ulta release, because like on Ulta they talked about the release of the Jaclyn Hill thing, all this kind of stuff. Do none of you actually look at the pictures? You can see at the bottom right hand corner is damaged and the shade Temptress is missing. And they full picture. Okay, so let me see the full picture. Hold on a second. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, well, to me, that gives it more credibility. It was probably damaged in production and someone working the site swapped it from the damaged bin to sell online. And then somebody said Temptress was on the Vault palettes, and for me, it was a great black shade, the best shade I have ever used. But I hit it with my brush and it broke and left a mess, so I really think this is real. So people are is that from the picture at the top? I guess it is. So what people, hold on a second, let me see. I screenshotted it, so I want to make sure it's the one. Yep, it is. So what people are speculating that it's a damaged palette that somebody took from the manufacturer and then sold on like eBay. Well, if that's the case, then the person that's tweeting it out, allegedly, okay, is causing false controversy because Morphe didn't really send it to them. So I don't know, I'm confused. What do you guys think about it? Put it in the comment section below. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.